Good afternoon, everyone. This is Diane. This is the last day of my designated scrapistry episodes for February and March, where I was doing weekends working on doing things with scraps. But it's a little different because I'm not actually making anything with scraps today, but instead I'm going to attempt to make a holder for some of the ephemera pieces that I did make. I did a couple of sessions where I was stamping on scraps and saving those pieces. So I have some bags in here with my pieces. And I have talked about this holder. I got this at an estate sale, and the lady used it for embroidery floss. And I just liked the idea of it and wanted to, figure out what I could use it for. And then after I had all these new stamped pieces, I gathered up all the other stamped pieces that I had in my binders. And I had a lot altogether. So that's what I decided to use this for. But as I've said, I wanted to make a new one with new bags. So what I might do, there's nothing wrong with this, and I do really like this. This is more my style than this. And I'll talk about this in a minute. But I might just use a seam ripper and take this ribbon off and replace these bags with new bags and just use this along with this, because I thought sorry. I figured I could use at least two of these. So what we're going to do today is make one. So I went to a rummage sale this weekend, and if you saw my haul, you saw that I got this one single placemat. There was only one, and I realized that it is a handmade placemat. The corners are just a little bit not squared, but that's fine. I don't mind, and I love the fall pattern. I wasn't really crazy about the design on the inside, so I just got this little fabric sample that's been in my stash and put that on top. This was part of what was there, but I just, put this in the middle, and I like this. So I did off camera put a handle on one end of it and covered it, so we can do that. I'll show you how that was done. I had another piece of ribbon cut, but I don't see it right now, so I'll just cut another one. This was in my stash. I'd gotten this at the flea market last year, and they had used, or the woman that made this had used grosgrain. This is a little bit wider. This is probably 3/4 of an inch, and this one is, I think it's a 1/2 inch. Doesn't say here, but it looks like a 1/2 inch. So I just went with what I had, and it matched the colors of this beautifully. I just want to make sure I have them both the same length. And I use this rather than measure, because I'm averse to measuring, unless I absolutely have to. I use this as a guide to center my straps. But you won't have this to use as a guide if you're making one of these. So just fold it in half and put a pin in the center, and then space your handle pieces out equidistant from the center. So I'm going to pin this on, matching the other strap there, and I want to make sure that I don't go deeper than 1/2 inch down, because I want to cover up the end with the ribbon. So if you can get a 3/4 inch ribbon, that might be better, a little easier, but it's really not a problem to just use the 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to do a basting stitch to catch both of those ends in. Because I will sew it down better when I sew the ribbon on top of it. So the basting stitch is just to hold it in place. Now I'll cut another piece that is just a little bit longer than the end the edge here because I will fold the ends under a little bit. I'm going to fold this under, and I will start sewing on that end. You could pin it in place if you want to, but I think it's okay to just do it without pinning. Okay, now I'm doing a shorter stitch, not the basting stitch. Now I'll just sew down that long edge, and of course it's easy, you just line it up to the edge of the placemat. Oops. I made the stitch really small. There we go. I went a little too far. Okay, I got that part done. Now for the tricky part. On the bag that I bought, the holder that I bought, there are 3 bags on each side of the ribbon. So there's a large gallon size bag and 2 quart size. Well, I wanted to try snack size bags too, to put littler things in. So I'm going to try a gallon and 2 quarts, and maybe I can get 2 snack size in there. And I was going to try to figure out how to put something there too. I didn't really take the time to do that. So I had the bags in my pantry already, but I bought the snack size. And these are not what I expected. This is the only snack size box I could find. But I know that they make them where they're wider and shallower than this, which is what I was expecting. But I think this is good, and I'm just not sure how I can attach some. I thought it would be really great to have some cascading down, but then, you know, they're open at the bottom, and I don't want that. So I was wondering if I could just sew around and somehow adhere it to the top, maybe just sew as much as I could up there and just have it sewn flat to it, just so I'd have extra space. I don't think I'll try it today. I just was wondering, what do you think? I could fit 2 on there if I could do that. But let's just try doing this. So I will sew my bags in place, and I'm going to have to cut the gallon bag shorter. And then after the bags are sewn in place, I can add the grosgrain to it to hide. Now there's no extra stitching here, so maybe sewing this down is what held the bags in place, but I just feel like it would be hard to keep the bags where I want them. So I'm going to start by putting this here. I wanted the ones that didn't have the slide, because this will be easy to use, but the slides come off sometimes. And I didn't want that happening, but they didn't have any. My Walmart supplies are not what they should be, you know, for various reasons. But I think Walmart seems to be worse than other stores as far as not keeping the shelves stocked. I'm going to let that go to voicemail. Sorry about that. So I'm going to cut some of this off. Like I said, it's pleated at the bottom. I'm going to cut the pleated part off. But more importantly than that, I need to cut off the extra length. So I think right there, my fabric is folded. Let me make sure that that is in the middle. Let's see. So if you don't have a placemat, you can just take pieces of fabric and sew them together with a thin piece of quilt batting in the center. That's what this is. It's a homemade placemat, which I was going to do if I couldn't find one. I just didn't want to take the extra time to make a placemat, even though I have plenty of fabric. And I happened to find this one at that rummage sale, and I paid almost nothing for it. So I'm just going to cut this just a little bit so it goes over the fold, over the center just a little bit, and the ribbon can catch it and hide it. Okay, that looks good. And I will just use this to measure the one that'll go on this side. I'm learning here, so I'm hoping this is going to go well. If it doesn't, you won't be seeing this video. I'm just figuring it out. Okay, so we have those two ready to go. They will overlap each other. And then these are just sandwich bags. I said quart, but I think, let me see. If they are quart, I might have some that I can use. I just thought they were sandwich bags. Can't read the writing. Yeah, I think it doesn't say quart, but it must be a quart because it's a freezer bag. And it would be sturdier than these. Sorry, I have to go get a quart freezer bag. I think these are, yeah, that's a freezer bag there. Okay, I got some freezer or quart, yeah, freezer quart bags. I use the Ziploc. I use Ziploc anyway at home because the store brands don't seal very well all the time. So, and I wanted something sturdy. So that can go next. And you know, if I don't like these instead of the slides, I can take the ribbon off and, you know, pick the seam out and do it again using a different type. I will put one on this side. just don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this with the ribbon. And of course, I couldn't find, I don't think snack size come in freezer, because you don't usually freeze things in tiny little snack size bags. But this was all I could find, like I said, this week at the store. I think I'm going to try just sewing one seam down the center to hold all of those bags in and see if it works. This is going to be the test. Nope. I am not even going to try. I'm going to do one bag at a time. I mean, like 2 bags, one on each side at a time. Because they're just going to slip and slide and frustrate me. I don't know how they did it without having the seam on the outside. I'm actually going to put a pin through it. And I'll just use a basting stitch again. Whoops. I went the wrong way. Okay. See if we can make this work. See, it's pushing, because these bags are slippery, it pushed my bag out of the way. So I'm going to start where I can put the needle right down into the plastic and start there and then back stitch, I guess. Well, I don't have to back stitch because I'm going to sew the ribbon on top of it. I don't see my seam ripper. There it is. Can't believe I'm trying to do this on a video. Okay, but this way you can learn what works and what doesn't. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to set my needle right in so it won't push it away. I think it helps to hold it at the back to help pull it through, because the slippery material doesn't want to go through. Okay, now we'll do the quart bags. And if I put it so that the writable side is on the outside facing, then maybe I can write what type of ephemera is inside that bag. See if we can do all 4 of these. Let the other one go. Don't have enough room here. want to pin it that far up. I'm trying to keep the tops of the bags level with the bags that are already there, and they are just twisting on me. This is a little harder than I thought it would be. I guess now I know why some of the bags that were in that one I bought are a little bit crooked. Just slightly. So I guess I don't care if mine are slightly crooked. Some of that bag might show out on the other side of the ribbon too. Especially since mine is a 1/2 inch instead of 3/4 inch. So let's try to get the bag straight, and I'm going to follow the same seam and put my needle down before I start sewing so that it's holding the bag in place. Ready, set, go. Before I start on the next ones, that one needs to be lined up a little better. Whoop. I don't know if I'm gonna try the snack bags. Well, I'll try it, but I don't know how it'll work. Might be too bulky. Because I would really like those little size ones in there. Let me try that ribbon. Yeah, they definitely, I think they're okay, but they're not quite straight because this width here is wider than here, but I'm not going to worry about it. It's just an ephemera holder. I want it to look as nice as I can get it to look, but perfect is not going to do it. So I'm going to trim a little bit here. Being careful not to trim any bags. Trim that piece a little bit. I think the rest will be covered. Looking good so far. It's not bad. Let's try those little snacky bags. They don't even have to overlap. With all of the overlapping in the center, it's getting bulky there, and then I'm going to add ribbon on top of it. But I think I'm going to like the results. And then I will hang it on a command hook in my room and put it to use. And if I really like it and need more, I can make another one. But I will have two if I replace the bags in the original one that I bought, which I'm not going to do right away. Ooh, my needle just came right out and bent. All right, well, these are things that happen. So I don't think anything broke the needle, it just got loose and fell out. Bad timing on video. Because the needle's not broken, it's just bent. Because when it fell out, it got bent. You just have to figure out how to open this little box of needles. It slides. There we go. Hope it's okay. Feels a little tight. I'm going to re-thread because it feels really tight when I pull the thread. So something wasn't right there. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, it just feels tight. Shouldn't pull that hard. I wish I knew how to edit. But we are live, real time. Not live, we are real time. See if we can get going now. So we have a lot of seams here on that side, but I don't care. I'm not making a purse to carry around with me. I just want something that looks halfway decent and functions. Okay, now if I can sew the ribbon on top, we've got an ephemera holder. So I'll just do the same as I did at the other edge. I'll fold the ribbon under and then sew it on all the sides. But I'm going to start on the long side because it'll be easier that way. This is still a basting stitch. I'm gonna just make it a little bit shorter stitch, but it's not going to have the wear and tear of a piece of clothing, so it doesn't need to be short stitches. Oh, I can worry about that when I get there. I was trying to fold the other end under and I'm not even there yet. Oh, now that needle fell out too. So I am not going to deal with that right now. It didn't bend. It's still threaded. Well, let me see if I can get it in there. There must be something about this that makes I don't know why the needle would loosen. Just make sure it's really tight. Is this worth the effort, guys? I hope so. Am I going to put this video up on my channel? I don't know. Make sure it's good and tight. We're almost there. Maybe I just didn't tighten that up enough when I put that needle in. All right, we're done. Now I just get to load it up with my ephemera. So I have hooks on my wall and I can hang it up, and when I put stuff in there it'll help hold those pieces up. Because I filled these, so these are all full, and these are sturdier bags. Some of mine are freezer bags and some are not. So that keeps them from being so floppy, but also having stuff in them keeps them from being floppy because they don't all slide down in this one. So yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy... Oh, she put this is on the outside. Oh well, that's okay. Mine's on the inside. Would have looked better on the outside. But there's my ephemera pouch, and I will be filling that up when I get a chance. If I put this on my channel, I hope you find it educational on what not to do, and also on how to do it. And let me know if you give it a try, or if you plan on it. Thanks for watching. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.